What's up, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Welcome to the BitLab Academy daily live stream. My name is Kellam. Welcome to the show. You can find all my info right there at Kellam. You can find, we do podcasts, I share charts, I share all kind of stuff going on in the market. But the question is for you, have you hit that like button? Have you hit that subscribe button? Have you dinged that bell? We just listened in a little bit to what Jerome Powell was talking about. Maxine Waters asking a little bit about what's going on with the digital assets, CBDCs, as well as what's going to happen with inflation. But you know what? We've talked about that as ad nauseum. It's just like, how many more talking points can we hear? Throw a 1 in chat if all you want to do is hear more talking points from the Fed. I hope I don't see any 1s in chat because I'm tired of this shit. I want to see some positive action from our government officials and this private institution that somehow has control of the monetary policy in our nation. What am I talking about? The private institution, the ones who pulls all the group who pulls the strings of financial policy, the Fed. That's right. It's not a government institution. It is a private institution. We live in a capitalist, I don't even know what to call it, oligarchy in a way. So you know what? We got 154 people in the room, 112 likes. Let's get those likes up. We got a lot to talk about today. We're going to be breaking down a lot of stuff, but make sure, oh, I don't know what's going on there. Make sure, let's go ahead and picture in picture here. All right, there we are. Make sure that you're hitting that, all those socials down below. Check out BitLab Academy. But what I really want to point to right now is, this is, going into the Fed talk, Fed talk all through here. This is going into it, a little bit of a sell-off before, and then Jerome Powell speaks. And what is it? A bunch of a big nothing burger. He's basically just reiterates the same talking points he has over and 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 over. It's like, why do you need to be on air all the time saying the same thing every moment? But we have to pay attention to it because markets do move on this. And we see, what do we see? We see that whipsaw price action up, reclaim the liquidity below to, get that better entry for the long if there's nothing, if it is a nothing burger. And what is it, a nothing burger? And we see that this is starting to lift off here. And what are we at? We're at 29,485. You know what's interesting about that? What did we talk about yesterday? Let's go ahead and zoom out. This is the level I was watching yesterday. Why this level? Why is this randomly in the middle of nowhere? Is it in the middle of nowhere? What do I ask you to do anytime that you're looking at charts? Look to the left. This is basically just above this previous high. So basically claiming that, basically claiming this area allows you to, if we see where this is at, basically reclaiming that 28,500 breaks this previous high at this level. So now we are essentially trying to break structure of this downtrend. Not only did we break structure of this downtrend, look at this. We're having resistance come into this trend line right here. We not only broke through that, as soon as we broke through that, we also we just sliced right through this downtrend that we've had essentially from April 14th. So about 2 months downtrend right here. And if we zoom out, what are we seeing on this zoom out? What we're seeing on the zoom out is a textbook retracement down to the previous highs. Bounce on these previous highs. I mean, this is bullish for me. Now, we do have some levels above us we need to watch. We're going to be doing, of course, quite a bit of TA. Let me go ahead and delete that. We're going to be doing quite a bit of TA in this show, as well as breaking down a little bit of the news that I caught in the last 24 hours since yesterday's stream. But these are the levels that we were watching. And this is what I want you to do anytime you pull up any asset ever, whether it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, NASDAQ, Bed Bath & Beyond, GameStop. I don't care what you're looking at. TA, technical analysis, the principles are the same. Look at your levels, look left, look at what chart formation you're in, what's going on with volume, what is going on with the strength indicators. And in this case, we see stochastics, what? They fully reset here at the bottom. What else reset? Not only the RSI came all the way down. If we zoom in on this, I want you to notice something. I want you to notice something. Option T gives us a trend line. We can see right here. Look at this. This got a little bit of a fake out, but push up, rejection, push up, little fake out, rejection back down, push up, rejection, push up, rejection, push up, a little bit of a pause right at this trend line and breakthrough. So essentially what this is saying, not only has the chart formation broken out, but we see the strength is agreeing with this breakout. Now, one of the other things I want you to notice is this pink line right here. What is this pink line? All the way, I would think somewhere about here, somewhere, I think it was roughly about the beginning or middle of April. I was talking about the middle of June. What is this? This is that line that I've had on the chart. I had it hidden the last few days. What is this? Let's look all the way down to the bottom. Where is that? June 15th, the exact middle of June. And look what happens. We pull back, we retrace down into this, and I said, I'm expecting some volatility around the middle of June. And what happens? On that day, that was the last basically down day in this trend. Look at this. First day of the middle of the month, or basically right at the middle of the month, June 15th, we get a little bit of a green candle. In this case, on my charts, it is white. We also see a reversal of the money flow starting to come up. We see stochastics bottom out just before this. We see the RSI bottom out just before this. We see the candles bounce at the previous high, and then we get an expansion in volatility. We get an expansion in momentum. What do I mean by that? Well, look at the size of this candle. Look at the size of this candle. This is a larger candle, meaning there's more price momentum. There's more velocity. There's more movement coming right out of June 15th. It's as Carl from the moon would say, just as I predicted. You see this expansion to the upside, a little bit of a cool off right at this previous level, these lows right here. We see this and this highs here. So we get a little bit of a cool off here, which also, if we look at this option F from the top to the bottom, it's pausing right in the channel of the golden pocket. Otherwise, if we look at this, let's look at this on the 8-hour. Looks a bit like a bull flag. So not only do we pause in the golden pocket, we get that sort of bull flag formation. We break out of the bull flag. What do I mean by this? Option T gives us our trend line. We see our basically our flag right there, pin it, however you want to call it. And what you want to do, option T, we can control, basically do this right here. Now we can move this up. We see not only did we go past, not only did we go to the target was, look at this. This target from this flagpole is directly to a fib, 1.382. And not only did we get to that level, we also had Jerome Powell speaking. It was a nothing burger, basically positive because it was a nothing burger. And we get an expansion past that. Now we are at 29,472. So I'd say that we have effectively broken this level right here, option J. We have broken this level. And what we're looking to now is a level right above this. And we're going to go down. We're going to go into a lot more TA here in a moment, but I want to come back to the chat. I want to come back to all of you that are here on a daily basis. I'm getting a little bit of lag there. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm going to close my Discord. Anything else? There's so much stuff running on these computers when we're doing these streams, but shout out to everybody here in the chat. Sawtooth Hiker, Crypto Pollo, Brad Guidel, Alexander G, Mellow Fellow, Total Clinic Solutions, Granny's Garden, Rafiq Gafour, B Team Crypto, Jeanette, Bully Bear. We got everybody in the house today. Gia S I saw in here. Quarter Crawler, Chirpow, how you doing? Zoop28, the smiley face, I'm not sure. Jumper DCS World. DCS, by the way, what a great open source, free fighter jet simulation game. Golly. I spent about 3 or 4 days about 4 years ago building a computer from scratch. I just built it exactly to what I wanted to do. And I wanted to build this home virtual reality machine. And I did. And it was, this thing was, you could have hacked NASA with this thing. It was such a computer. It had liquid cool processing, the best graphics processor. It was sick. I played on it once, and 6 months later, I hadn't even turned it back on. So I realized I just needed a project, and I did the project. So I sold the computer, made money on it. But that's a little bit of a tangent there. But I just want to say thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you for being in our community. You are not followers of this channel. You are all members of this community. And I hope that I'm a member of your community. This is what this is all about. I've been in the game for a number of years. longer than most people in the space. Been on a number of different streams. You know, I host my own podcast, Crypto Answered, through my Twitter. Yeah, I'm here at the Hit Network now. We've been building this channel since basically about the end of January, beginning of February. And we are pushing up, baby. Let's go ahead and look at where we're at right now. And then we got a lot of stuff we got to cover. So everybody hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Join us in this community. Ding that bell. Get those notifications. I got my lease signed yesterday. I spent far too much money on Amazon. I'm stocking a whole apartment from scratch. I left all the stuff for the apartment for my wife in New York. So I came down here just with clothes. Her and I are going on our own path. We're still best friends. But for the time being, whether it's forever or for the next few years, I don't know, we're on our own path. So I left her with everything, make sure she's taken care of. But that means I had to buy 100%. Have you ever had to buy 100% of everything but clothes when you moved in somewhere? I mean, just not even no furniture at all, just buying the toilet paper and sponges and dishes and pots and pans and everything. I think I spent $4,500 just on the little things you need in an apartment: wine opener, coffee, French press. And this is not even including food, towels, hot hands, tongs, kitchen. I mean, holy moly. So you're going to see me hustling, baby. Starting Monday, no, not Monday, Tuesday next week. I think I'm going to be off Friday because I have to move in Friday. I'm going to try and get some content out Friday. Either way, it may not be in this format. It may be on my phone, sitting in my new apartment. It's talking with you guys. It's going to be very, very homegrown, that stream on Friday. But next week on, I'm going to be really focused on putting content out, not only on this channel, but a bunch of new content in BitLab Academy. We're doing a whole overhaul of BitLab Trading Stack. So I just want to say thank you all for being here. Thank you for, basically building this community with me. Now let's go ahead and get into it. Look at this. Look at this right now. If you're watching anywhere else, get over to the BitLab Academy page, youtube.com/@BitLab Academy, or search BitLab Academy. We're pushing up 7,630 community members now. Make sure you check out this daily alpha playlist right here. There's a lot of evergreen content. If you have not yet watched this video right here, Pro Trading View Guide, I beg you, after this, you know what I'll do? At the end of this video, I'll also put it as a suggested video. If you're watching live, it's not going to pop up till later, but make sure you come and watch this. It really walks you through how to set up your templates, how to use quick keys on TradingView and all this sort of stuff. And again, if you have not yet, make sure you come over to bitlabacademy.com. Check us out here. We got so much content here, free content, paid content. We have the premium Discord. We got indicators. Check this out. Get involved. We've got so much going on. Let's look at all the courses we currently have. We've got so much more coming. So check it out. You can still use Give Me 30 if you're getting just the BitLab Academy All Access, which also gives you access to the premium Discord and all our courses, current and future. Use Give Me 30 for 30% off, or you can get the BitLab, what's it called? The BitLab Pro, which gives you the courses, the premium Discord, all the indicators, and you get about a 30% discount every month because it groups them all together. And basically, you want to, take care of everybody that's getting everything. We don't want it to be too expensive for you. So use that. There's no code for that, but it's just a flat $97 a month, and you get everything. If you want just all access, it's $37.99 plus the premium Discord, which is included in that. But let's go ahead and look at this. We got, if you haven't yet, come over here to BitLab Academy Twitter page, which is right here at Academy BitLab. Hit that retweet, hit the like button. It enters you to win. We will be drawing on Thursday, so there's going to be a higher chance for you to win this week because we're doing one less day. We're not going to include the Friday post as a part of the giveaway. So get involved with this. Now, if you have not yet, make sure you're following me right here at Kelly Kellam, KELOY KELLAM. If you see that right there, look for the check mark in the Hit Network. All right. Now, what are we talking about today? Well, first thing, just, Jerome Powell's talking about inflation, the Fed, blah, 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 all the nonsense that we don't really care about. Mitch Shaw, by the way, I see you in here. Hit you back on Discord. Make sure you send me your email. I was signing my lease yesterday, so we will get you taken care of today. 100%, without a doubt. UK national debt breaches 100%. So it's equal to or more than the GDP. What does GDP mean? So many acronyms in finance, so many acronyms in the world. GDP is gross domestic product. It is the amount of capital a country generates. Okay? They owe more than the entire country generates annually. It's a precarious situation to be in, and we are headed towards that ourselves here in the US. So we just want to pay attention to this. GBTC. Trading volume spikes 400% after BlackRock files for Bitcoin ETF. Why do we care about this? We want to trade, we want to buy, we want to make money. The reason why this matters is because they have been denied by the SEC. In fact, they have a lawsuit against the SEC about the denial of their ETF application. But BlackRock comes in, they put in an application with the SEC for an ETF, and everybody's expecting it to go through because of all their connections. And let's be honest, BlackRock rules the world probably more than the US does because they pull the strings of the politicians. They put the money in their pockets to sway the vote. Now, BlackRock is also the largest financial institution with 10 to 12 trillion dollars in assets under management. And so by them getting involved with Bitcoin, it is nullifying every single thing they've said negative about Bitcoin in the history of their existence in the last 12 years. And they've said a lot of bad things. They call it an index for money laundering. They've called it so much. And now they're getting involved. Well, I guess now it's on a wide enough stage, broad enough stage globally that now they can participate in it and get involved in that money laundering that they were talking about. I don't think it is in any way an index for money laundering. I think it is an index for freedom. That's exactly what Bitcoin is. BlackRock's getting involved. That means all financial institutions around the world, whether they're small family retail offices or institutional investing financial companies, BlackRock getting involved makes everybody take a second look. And we see GBTC trading volumes spiking 400%. So what does this mean? This is an indication that financial institutions and people that are not super comfortable with getting involved fully in crypto, they're getting traditional asset exposure to Bitcoin. Now, GBTC is also trading at about a 20% negative premium to Bitcoin as well, meaning you can get, say you're spending $20,000 buying Bitcoin exposure on GBTC, Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. That's what GBTC is. If you spend $20 on GBTC, $20,000 on GBTC, you're going to get more Bitcoin than you would if you bought $20,000 worth of Bitcoin. Now, this is not always going to be the case. When bull markets are pumping, if you spend $20,000, you get less equivalent value in Bitcoin than you would if you bought just Bitcoin outright. But right now, there's a negative premium, and we're seeing a huge spike in people buying GBTC. This means the institutional side, the traditional asset-facing side of people that are not comfortable with Bitcoin are getting involved with Bitcoin through the GBTC trust. So scrolling down here, look at this. Trading volume. Look at this huge spike way back in, when is this, June 21st, 2022? Remember that little mini pump we had? And then also, look at this right here. We've kind of eclipsed all the way back to 2020, 2021, or 2022. Very important to pay attention to this. Trading volume of Grayscale's Bitcoin investment trust, GBTC, has increased 400% since asset management firm BlackRock filed for a spot Bitcoin ETF, because we do have a futures ETF, but not spot. Now, what is spot? Spot means to trade one for one, rather than betting on the future of an asset or taking derivatives, meaning getting a multiplier in a way. It's the simplest way to describe it. Putting up a certain amount of capital, say $1,000, and getting 2x, 4x, 5x, 8x, whatever it is you want. It's meant to be used, by the way, when you're doing those leverages, perpetuals, margin. It's meant to be used as a hedge. You're not supposed to put your entire portfolio out there on leverage. You're supposed to say, I have $10,000. I don't want to put $10,000 at risk in the market, so I'm going to trade $2,000, 5x. Now you're still getting $10,000 worth of exposure, and you're only risking $2,000 worth of your capital. So even if you were to get liquidated, you still are only losing 20% of your capital rather than 100%. Most people don't do that. Most people are far too greedy, and so they trade with far too much of their portfolio without risk management and don't even have stop losses, and then wonder why they got liquidated. Crypto's a scam. No, your mind, your emotions are a scam. We need to get out of that nonsense. We need to trade smart. So scaling down here, BlackRock being successful in their bid for a spot Bitcoin ETF would then pave a clearer path for Grayscale. I think Wisdom Tree and a couple other companies as well have now since filed or reopened their sort of ETF ambitions as well. So if BlackRock gets approved, which let's be honest, they'll probably be the first one approved for a spot ETF, and then the floodgates are going to open for other institutions because is it because they have connections and they can scam their way into getting it done? I don't know. We'll never know. But the fact that however they get there, maybe they just did it fully right. Let's be optimistic. It's probably not going to be the case, but once it happens, the SEC's need to allow other people to do so as well, and the path and all of it is going to be opened up. And why do we care about ETFs? ETFs are going to be the pathway for sovereign wealth funds, for pension funds, for union funds, for the trillions and trillions in assets out there to get exposure to Bitcoin. And we don't need them to get 5%, 10%, 20%. 1% of these funds will send Bitcoin well over $300,000. That's right. So there is a good thing about this, but it's only good for people that are paying attention to the markets. It's not good for you if you get in after the price is already skyrocketed. It's those of us that are participating before the institutions and these large wealth fund managers get involved, because then they are going to very quickly, if we don't get involved as retail traders, they're going to very quickly displace the retail trader. And this decentralization, that's, this idea that we want is already eroding away with MicroStrategy's exposure. With MicroStrategy has over 140,000 Bitcoin. Grayscale has already 630 something thousand Bitcoin. Is Fidelity going to buy Grayscale? We don't know. Is BlackRock going to eclipse the amount of Bitcoin that Grayscale has? Likely. They have more money than any other institution on earth, other than full governments. So there's a lot to pay attention to here. Volatility sucks when you're out of position. Volatility is everything you want when you have a strategy and you have patience and you understand how to read the data so your emotions don't hijack your capital to donate it to somebody else. Volatility gives you the opportunity to make life-changing wealth. So get a strategy, fine-tune your patience, and get involved in this market in a meaningful way. So jumping back here into the charts, jumping back here into the screen, I said, the Securities and Exchange Commission, the Scam and Exchange Your Money into Institutions Money Commission, rejected Grayscale's attempt to turn its Bitcoin trust into a spot ETF June 29th, 2022. See, this is already over, basically, this is a year ago. The firm subsequently sued the SEC on the same day in an attempt to challenge the decision. Okay, now let's go ahead to the next one here. BlackRock recruiter says the asset giant controls politicians while BlackRock is set to launch Bitcoin ETF. This is the key right here. You see that? Who knows? But let's go ahead and read further. Well, first off, let's look at this. In the same period, BlackRock officially files for spot ETF and digital asset marketplace EDX Markets goes live. EDX Markets is basically, I don't want to call it a partnership, the shared venture of Fidelity, Citadel, all these other major players in the world stage of finance. And so is all this a coincidence? What's happening with SEC suing or bringing allegations against Binance, against Coinbase, XRP case seemingly coming to a head. Will it ever? We don't know. But all these choke points happening, different on and off ramps getting shut down, so many altcoins being labeled as securities, pushing everything towards Bitcoin and Ethereum and a little bit of XRP there. And now we see a major, basically traditional asset manager owned, centralized exchange going live as well by some of the biggest players in the global finance marketplace. And BlackRock applies for spot ETF after Operation Choke Point 2.0 already came in and has basically ushered a clear path for them. Hit that poll right now if you haven't above. Hit that poll. Do you trust the government? Well, scrolling down here, all these financial institutions buy politicians. Senators are cheap. can be bought for $10,000. Let's go ahead and visit back. I don't want to make this political. Looking at all these, who was it that posted this the other day? I don't remember. There's somebody on Twitter that posted, it was a list of all these different politicians, and it shows what their annual salary is, which is $174,000 a year, I believe. I could be wrong, but it's in that vicinity. Let's call it $180,000. Let's call it $200,000. Let's be generous. Is that extra $26,000 going to take them from the ability to make $200,000 a year to being worth well over $60 million, $100 million, $150 million after they're in office? Well, this brings a little more credence to this, doesn't it? Senators are cheap. More than that, Surge tells the reporter that the United States government relies on BlackRock for its economic stimulation or economic simulation and computational power. Okay. Bad news. Also, think about this. Bad news. All this bad news we're seeing lately. We are part of driving that. Why? Because bad news from news media outlets is good news for channels, for news channels business too. So the bad news gets all of us. I'm a victim of this. You're a victim of this. We are cyclically involved in this news cycle, just trash, because they do capture us. It's psychology. We're attracted to the shiny story or the terrible story or to the drama. So this bad news that we're seeing everywhere is good news for business, for the news business. There was something more in there, but it doesn't really matter. But let's go ahead and get in. We got another 30 minutes. We're going to go here. So if you haven't yet, we got 207 people in the room. 100. I can't see it right now. Let me scroll over. 145 likes. Everybody that's watching right now, do crypto the service of hitting like, hitting subscribe, letting YouTube know you like this kind of content. And let's get into the nitty gritty of what we want to talk about. Yesterday, yeah, we look at this on the 12-hour, $24 million in shorts liquidated, $6 million on Ethereum. If we look at this on aggregate, we can actually scroll down here. Make sure let's go to 12 hours. We can see, look at this. We had 80 million in shorts liquidated, followed by another 66 million in shorts liquidated. And look at this. If you look, I can't point because you can't see my hand. I can actually go like this here. See this right here? 9 million and 6 million. We're getting people liquidated in both directions. So right now in this choppy market, you could take a swinger, but you're taking a lot of risk. You see, each time this little pullback, and then people throw in their leverage longs because this is it. This is the bottom. And then they get liquidated. And then it goes up and the shorts get liquidated. Then it goes, sideways. Both people, not much liquidation, 10, 11, 5. And then right here, this is going to moonshot. This is all the hopium boys. Liquidated. Comes down, longs, liquidated. And and then we get right here. Now we're getting a lot of shorts, a little mini short squeeze to the upside. Now, what I want to point to, though, is I don't want you to just have so much hope that you just throw everything on the farm and you forget about it. Because looking at the Bitcoin Pi cycle indicator, you can find this on so many sites. Come over here to look into Bitcoin, not look node, sorry. Look into Bitcoin.com. By the way, we talk about, so many different of these on-chain charts and technical analysis and candle formations and trading strategies, all in BitLab Academy. So if you're not in there yet, go get involved. Get involved in our Discord. I am going to have so much more time on my hands starting next week. I'm going to be involved in the Discord all the time. Today at 4 p.m., we are doing the BitLab members AMA that's going to be in Discord on in the paid members area on the BitLab stage. 4 p.m. today, we are doing the AMA. So get involved with that. Spread the word. We will be doing that. So coming over here to look into Bitcoin.com, we can look over here, put your candle over charts, come over here to Pi Cycle top indicator. This, you see the spread of these two lines. We're going to come back. I just want to show you can find it free. We can see the spread of these two lines. When these cross, if we really zoomed in on this, when these cross, boom, cross, mark to top. Now, what I really want to point to here is in 2019, we see this large expansion as Bitcoin price dropped. Pie side, these are two moving averages, essentially the 350 DMA times 2 and the 111 DMA. DMA means daily moving average, probably simple moving average. You can also scroll down here, get a little bit more information if you'd like. But the point here is, see, the spread means that price is not only low, but we're nowhere near our top. This is very obvious. But as price starts pushing up, these lines don't cross, but we start seeing this contraction that almost crosses. And then once we get a little bit of a pullback, remember the halving was about right here. Okay, it was somewhere in this region here. Okay, somewhere in this region. I don't quite remember where. But the point being is, you see these contract and then reject as we get the pullback. This is a pre-halving pump, correction, and then the halving true parabola slowly sets a base and then moves to the upside. What we're seeing right now, I want to pay attention to this. We're still quite a far way away comparatively. But if we do continue to push up, we need to pay attention that there is a path that we break the mold of history. Alexander G says the on-chain course is fire, right? Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate all you guys. Big love to everybody in here. Let me scroll back, make sure I don't have any. Just want to make sure. Shout out to my boy, Matt C. How you doing, my friend? Okay, I just want to make sure I wasn't paying attention for super chats. I had to close Discord, so I'm not getting any dings. We want to pay attention to this area here when these two lines start. If this really starts pushing up, if these lines cross pre-halving, that's something we need to watch for. But also, once they start pinching in like this, we need to pay attention, because historically we can also see in the past. Look at this. Pinched in, but then just trailed along for a while. So this is not going to be an absolute signal, but I just wanted to point out there's a lot of things that are pointing to what's going on in the market and health of the market. The reserve risk, what is this? Scroll down. Reserve risk is defined as the HODL bank, the hold on for dear life bank, the people, the strong holders. So it is a price divided by the HODL bank, okay? And we can see, if we kind of come over here, boom, sorry. Reserve risk, we can get a little more data right here. Reserve risk is a Bitcoin chart that allows us to visualize the confidence among long-term holders relative to the price of Bitcoin at any given time. So what we're seeing is the strength of holders as it relates to price. So we're still well low here. But what I want to point to is, if we look at this just like technical analysis on price action, you see this area right here. We're coming right down into a diagonal trend line right here that we're potentially bouncing off of. So let's go ahead and see. We potentially could bounce off of the zone, which would be amazing. Look at this, and boom, 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 and we're bouncing right now. Will this hold? This is good. And even if the price goes lower, we can see historically when this oscillator, this orange oscillator, the reserve risk, is this low, which I do believe this is the lowest it's ever been. Yes, it is, when we had our low. When we're down here, this is what's identifying that it's a very likely. Why is it reserve risk? This is showing that we're in a down here was the most asymmetric risk in the history of Bitcoin. You realize that? This low right here in December 2022, following the FTX collapse, this chart is suggesting that we had the most asymmetric risk opportunity in the history of Bitcoin, even from back here. Why is this? Because at this point, we're seeing the strength of Bitcoin, the strength of the price of Bitcoin, the market value of Bitcoin, divided by the strength of how many people are holding, how much liquidity there is, how much strong hands are holding, and the few amount of short-term holders there are. We're seeing strength, very strong asymmetric risk opportunity. And now we get news that BlackRock's getting involved. We see HSBC getting involved with crypto and the metaverse, setting up banking in the metaverse. We see Deutsche Bank applying for Bitcoin crypto license in Europe. We're seeing GPTC, but maybe there's a path for them in addition to BlackRock getting an ETF. There's so much happening right now in the crypto ecosystem. And if you're not paying attention, then you are going to look back and just, it's going to be so hard. Look at the data, not the price. And that's what we're talking about here. So last thing I'm going to show you here on terms of these broader charts is the CBBI, ColinTalksCrypto.com, CBBI. I talk about this on On-chain index chart. I'm putting this in the chart in the chat. You can use this. This gives you a score, 0 to 100. How close are we to how strong is it in terms of bull strength? If it's up past 90, you need to be looking to get out. If it's down, below 20, great opportunity to get in. We can see this oscillating here rather than just looking at the number. This is basically indexing pi cycle top, that first indicator we're just looking at, the on-chain data chart, the Rupal, the Nupal, the Rodel, the Powell multiple, 2-year moving averages, Bitcoin Trololo, trend line, MVR VZ score, reserve risk, and the Wooble top cap versus coin value days destroyed. It's giving a lot of data aggregated into one chart. So you're seeing the strength. You see this when we get over the 80 mark here, especially when we get up to the 90, you have to pay attention. We did not get to 90 here. So let's look at 80 or above. Once we're getting up here, we need to be, and we can see it on the heat map on the price action itself. When you start getting into that orange area, you need to start looking at, if you have not yet, start looking at de-risking, taking profits. I don't care if you even got in right here on the price action. If this turns orange, that means that I'd rather not get the absolute high and take advantage of taking profits, being patient and letting the price come down, and then reallocate. When you start seeing green, the light green, start looking for the opportunities on the charts. When you get the dark green, you need to be taking an active stance on what your strategy is to be entering. This is strategy advice, not financial advice. You do what you need to do for your risk exposure, for your risk tolerance, for your timeline, for your time horizon, for your portfolio. I'm giving you the tools that you can dominate these markets. And we see we got all the way down here to 4. Look at this. We got all the way down here to 2. Not only did the reserve risk say this was a most asymmetric opportunity, this is about to say, look, we got down to a 1 back here. So great opportunity. Once we drop below 5, start looking for those entry opportunities. And look at this. Push up, pull back, push up, pull back. This is not Bitcoin price. This is the strength, the data, the fundamental on-chain data and other key metrics is providing to show you where we're at in terms of strength in the market. What happens? Orange, yellow, very light green, dark green, base. And then once we form the base, light green into long period, yellow, a little darker yellow, or oranges, dark, red. And we're seeing this play out again. Dark green, light green, top, low, pre-halving top, reaccumulation, parabolic run post-halving. Dark green, green, what's next? Yellow. This is the trajectory we're looking at. Have you seen this chart before? If not, I want you to take advantage of this chart. It's a great aggregator for on-chain data if you don't want to look at all the other stuff and put it together. I look at this. So we see this line right here. This is a halving right here. See? Light green into yellow, a little more accumulation up. Halving right here, this dotted line. Light green into yellow, reaccumulation. We got the global catastrophe right here. Reaccumulation, parabolic run after. Right here, halving. Light green into yellow, reaccumulation, strong push up, post-halving. We've got the tools. We have to choose to use the tools. Our emotions are not in control. If your emotions are in control, you're not going to have good relationships. You're not going to have good portfolio. You need to act logically and rationally. And to do that in markets, you use data. So, Turbo TA time. What are we looking at? Throw in a couple altcoins you want to see. We're not going to have a lot of time today, but we're not going to spend a lot of time on any chart. We've talked at length about a lot of stuff here. So let's go ahead and look at our BitLab indicators. Cannot wait for all the updates and the complete overhaul that we're doing on this. It's going to really simplify a lot of things for everybody and basically still give incredible data for everybody. And so what we can see right here, bounce up. We had the bullish divergences, bull flag, broke the bull flag up. So what we're seeing now, and it's not full, I don't want to say it's not confirmed or confirmed. We're still within this rising wedge. Did anybody else notice they removed the auto button here? Is there another way? Somebody teach me in here. How do you do auto on? Is there a quick key like Command A or something, or Control A? Because there's no auto button anymore, and it's really frustrating me. But look at this breakout. So what I'd be looking for here is to retest this zone right up here. The question about this zone right up here is, as it stands right now, we have a major hurdle ahead of us, which is, let me go ahead and double click on this. Oh, sorry. Double click on this, minimizes other indicators. And we could see this, a lot of resistance, support, rejection. So we are at some point either very soon going to test this and reject hard, or test this, reject with just a little bit of a pause and then break through it, or just slice right through it. So essentially what I'm saying, anything can happen. I know it sounds dumb, but it's just the market's is recapturing some sentiment right now. Got it. But we got to contend with this line right here. So let's go ahead and move this up to where we're at right here. So we've got to basically hit $30,000. Let's go down. It's going to be a little bit lower than that. Yeah. So see where we're at right now, about 29.9. And given, remember, all these lines are regions. They're not absolutes. Any line you see on anybody's chart is a region. It's an idea. We're trading on stacking enough ideas together that feel confluent, and there's not too much disagreement. There's always going to be some disagreement with one indicator or one signal or one volume, but we want to stack the probabilities in our favor. So let's go ahead and take off the that. We're going to double click on this. Look at this launch point. Look at this. Back and forth with the divergences on volume, aka interest at price levels, and all of a sudden we get bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish, bullish, and look at this launching platform right here on the relative extrema. You see this launching platform? We're getting stacked up bullish divergences. Not only we had some back and forth here, but all of a sudden we get more. Look at this: bearish, bullish, bullish, bearish, bullish, bullish, and the launch point with the relative extrema, and this is neutral. And we look, I mean, this is just looking, this is beautiful. And we get the breakout. Look at this. We get this breakout right out of this. Green candles, which are the relative extrema, and we break out. Now, as it stands right now, this is looking like it wants to just touch this. There's going to be some selling pressure here, but at the same time, if there's shorts that are pushed into this position or posted in this position, limit shorts. When this gets hit, if there's buying pressure that takes those, not only will those shorts get triggered to buy, those shorts get triggered to be shorts on the market. That's why I think there's going to be a little bit of a hesitation here, meaning price up, a little bit of maybe even a little bit of a dip. And then what I think is likely to happen, I don't know if this will. Yeah, hit those emojis, everybody. Make those emojis fly. We got 219 people, 164 likes. Let's make those likes fly. Let YouTube know you like crypto content. Doesn't only help this channel. It's the easiest way you can help this channel. It's also something, it helps all of crypto because it lets YouTube know that crypto content is important. But I'm thinking that there's going to be some shorts, some profit taking. Why? Because we have an established pattern that we know exists, which is right here. You see this rising wedge? We're getting towards the top of this range. There's going to be some traders out there that are not trading on sentiment or hope or hoping. They're trading ranges. There's range traders. There's chart formation traders. There's all these and all these. Some of these strategies, by the way, I'm working on right now to add to the trading strategies section of the BitLab Academy trading strategies course. But when we see this come up to the zone, there's going to be some profit taking, which is why there's very likely going to be, let's draw a box, a bit of a zone here. Let's go ahead and come here. Boom. That's not what I wanted to do. There we go. There's going to be a little bit of profit taking here. And the question is going to be on this move. Let's go from the bottom, option F, roughly the bottom, up to this zone. The question is going to be, if this gets rejected, is it going to bounce down to this previous high? Which is likely. Let's know it's possible before it happens so we don't freak out. If this gets rejected and it feels hard, especially if you're really zoomed in on this chart and you're looking at this, on the 15-minute chart and you see, oh my God, it's crashing. Well, look to the left, sucker. Come over here. Look at this previous high. This is what our barrier is right here. If this rejects here, we lose this level, then the next level we're going to look at is probably not even the 382. It's going to be the 0.5 because the 0.5 is perfectly aligned with this zone right here. If we lose these levels, I mean, if we're really having momentum come down, then we're, this 0.5 is also going to be very confluent with this trend line right here. But I think what's more likely to happen right now with the sentiment shifting and the fear, the FOMO coming in, I'm going to miss it. I'm going to miss it. Stop having that shit in your head. I'm sorry. I'm just fired up today. I apologize for the language, family show. Stop having that stuff in your head. But markets are an adult game, man. So if this gets a little bit of hesitation here, you know, maybe a little washout wick like this, I do think that the sentiment's going to come in and actually eat this liquidity and get another short squeeze that's actually a recipe to potentially very quickly take us to this previous high, which is not that high above it, right there, $30,900, about $1,000 up. Now, there's going to be another zone right there, which depending on what's happening with news and media and all this sort of stuff, let's go ahead and put this right in this zone right here. Let's go ahead. We're going to delete this. We don't need that. It's too much on the chart. So we need to pay attention to all of these things and just trade smart, trade patiently, trade with strategy. I do think we will likely, this is a little bit of a small bit of a short squeeze here, but I do think we could be setting up potentially if buying pressure comes in. And think about it now. There's so many institutions out there now that see BlackRock wants to get in, and BlackRock is the big dog on the street. BlackRock, they want to get in before BlackRock has all of the market share of the traditional asset exposure to Bitcoin. So there's going to be not only retail that's going to be that's been waiting, but there's going to be institutions getting exposure in some ways, because now people in these markets, especially institutions and retail, is getting smarter. Every one of you here, myself, we're all learning every day. We're looking at things like GBTC, and we're looking at these other asset-exposed, traditional asset-exposed Bitcoin assets. And if GBTC starts not having a negative premium anymore, and we're getting just an onslaught of traditional asset liquidity coming into those things, that could act as a bullish divergence and a signal for what's happening in these markets. And another thing we have to talk about, think about, you know, something we forgot the last few days. Let me go ahead and pull it up here. We have to talk about global liquidity. We have to talk about what's going on with China, because there is a likelihood, there's speculation at least, that there's going to be a stimulus in China. And as it stands right now, look at this right here. This is the bullish divergence we had right here, right at the floor, right at this FTX collapse consolidation. Global liquidity started basically right almost the same, within the same week of when that collapse happened. So global liquidity was getting injected into the market. And this is mostly a lot had to do with China and Japan. But we're seeing a huge amount of money coming in preceding the pump that came into the markets here. Now here, the question is, we have, high, low, lower, high. Question is this rounding going to come up and retake this, or even come past this? We got to see what's going on here, but it's time for Turbo TA. Let's break it down. Turbo TA for the day. Bitcoin, it's coming up right now at this previous sort of level of support and resistance. This is the key. If we have a little bit of hesitation here, it's okay. If we get a little bit of a rejection here, we can come down as low as 28,472 and still be actually quite bullish, because all we'd be doing then is getting a rejection at a known level, coming down, bouncing at a known level. If we lose this level, then I think this potentially is going to come all the way back down into this zone here, $26,800 to $27,000 region. I'm in the camp leaning that this will likely have a hesitation here, and then price action will likely push through this and get an actually quick pop up to this level here, this $30,900, $31,000 level. That's what I'm seeing on Bitcoin in the next 24 hours, 24 to 48 hours in terms of the hesitation in this region. This also very well could hesitate here and sort of trade into this zone and just kind of get a little bit of a rejection and then pop up here and kind of get squeezed in this zone right here. Squeezed in this zone right here. This is also the previous high right here, but just kind of squeeze in this zone before we build a lot of short pressure here, that then we get a short squeeze and actually finally break that $31,000 level. That's what I'm seeing on Bitcoin. Let's look at Ethereum. Okay, coming over to Ethereum. Okay, Ethereum, first, before we looked at this, I want you to notice that Ethereum to Bitcoin chart, if we kind of come in on here and zoom in on this, we can see that this is, coming in on the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart. We're testing the range low. We're testing the range lows right here. If we're not able to hold this level right here, basically 0.062 Satoshis, then we have probably a pretty sharp fall from there. You know, a little bit of support right here on this channel support here. But as it stands right now, Ethereum's looking relatively weak. Could we be setting up for a bounce? Look at this. We've got, we're riding right on the support of this range low right here. We're riding right on it. So if we lose this immediately, I'd be looking right below us at 0.06. If we lose that, much lower. If we are able to bounce here, I'm looking at a little bit of choppiness because of this low right here and this sort of trend line, basically bouncing in between this zone before we come up to all the way up here at basically 0.07. Looking at Cardano, I mean, we're getting, man, look at this. We had a bit of a bear flag that, or bear pennant that has actually broken bullish. Now, does this mean that we drew this wrong? Maybe. Is it the wrong pattern? Doesn't matter. Look to what's happening now. We've got this price action right here. What we need to look at immediately above us is we're sitting right here at the 382. If we're to get rejected here, then what I would like to see is, one, it means that we probably do have a different pattern, that this is going to be a bit of a range sideways here. Remember what Chainlink did for 2 years. I don't think that's going to happen with Cardano, but we don't know what's going to happen with all this securities allegations from the SEC. There could be a lot of choppiness in this for longer than you could hope to see. So what we're seeing right now, look, a little bit of a W pattern. If we break this level, let me go ahead and move this right here. If we break this level right here at 28 cents, then we're going to be looking at likely a little bit of an attempt, and I think it's going to be a weak attempt based on everything happening, up to where this golden pocket is here at 32 cents. If we're able to take this, then maybe we're going to try to reclaim some of this liquidity and price action back to the upside. But I still think there's, as bullish as I am on Bitcoin and the crypto markets and on Cardano, I do think that there's going to be a bit more pain in all these assets that are in this allegations with the SEC. So if we do lose this level, immediate level down 24 cents, next level down below that, basically 19.5 cents. Looking at, let's look at Atom. We haven't looked at this in a while. Look at this. We had this sort of channel or wedge, however you want to draw this, and we've fallen out of this quite bad. This looks very similar to Cardano. Coming up like this, we've got a bit of a rising wedge, bit of just ugliness. This is looking like it wants to do this. Will that happen? I don't know. If it does, then what we can do is look at option T, Alt T if you're on PC. Draw a flagpole, come down like this. Target would be, let's see if it's in confluence with anything, option H. Now what we can do is now we zoom out on the chart and we see where, look at this. Look at where this level would be. This target down would be right about where, look at all these rejections, boom, 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 boom. All this interactivity. There's going to be a lot of price interactivity if we get to this level. As it stands right now, there is some support under us because we have this level right here as well, which is, look at this, bounce, rejection in this region, bounce. So we're sitting at a level right now that if we're not able to hold at this level, then we are going to be coming down, likely to test down to the $6.43 range on Atom. Now, Optimism, OP. You down with OPP? Yeah, you know me. I'm down with OPP. Okay, look at this. Basically inverse Bart Simpson, down, sideways action, rocket back up. This is the zone we're watching for on Optimism right here. We can't break above this zone, and more specifically, option J, more specifically right here at the $1.55 sort of mark. If we get rejected at this level, we are coming down. We are in an established downtrend. Option T gives us our trend line. We've kind of broken through this. This is on the daily. Let's come down to the 4 hour. Okay, we've broken through this level, but as it stands right now, this is a region that we're looking at right now on Optimism, is right here. We're not even into that zone. This zone is essentially the $1.46 up to $1.55 sort of zone. As it stands right now, if we kind of come from option F, gives us our Fibonacci. We look at this hesitation right in the golden pocket. It's crazy how these Fibonacci's work. Hesitation right in the golden pocket. Now push up. We're kind of getting a rejection currently. It's not full. It's not fully formed. It's not confirmed yet. We got on the 4 hour, we got 29 minutes. But as it looks, we're getting rejected at the platinum pocket, as Army Piper calls it right here at the 786. And yeah, if we're not able to take this, then I do think there's just weakness here, and likely at minimum come down and test the previous level of resistance, support, like this region right here. If we see weakness, we could also come here, get a little bit of and then test this region and then come higher. But I'm very reluctant to call many altcoins going higher right now because of the landscape of the SEC and what's happening with everything there. We never know what's going to be the next coin that's going to be called a security, and also how much buying power and liquidity is moving into Bitcoin and Ethereum and these other coins that are in the market. So everybody right now, what I want you to do, 198 people in the room, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, join us here, and everybody that's a BitLab Academy member. And if you're not yet, go and become a BitLab Academy member. You can do it right here, bitlabacademy.com. You can come. You'll see enroll now up here on the upper right portion right here. Enroll right there, or just click here, start your education for free. You can see we got the BitLab Pro. This is about 30+% off of all the stuff that we have available. You get in one price rather than spending $130+ a month. It's all discounted every month. So you get that discount every month. Or if you just want to start, you want a friend or a family member, just get the basics, or yourself, you want to understand what blockchain 101 is, Bitcoin 101, crypto beginner, see what kind of BitLab's about. You can sign up for free right here. Literally, it's free. Bunch of courses and lessons in there. If you want all access to all the good stuff and you really want to take it deeper, click right here, and you only want that. And also you get access to the premium Discord. Click I want all access, and you can get 30% off your first month if you put in give me 30. Give me 30 at checkout. Apply the coupon code. You get 30% off, and you get the all access to all our courses as well as a premium Discord. If you do that this afternoon, we do it. I didn't do it last week, but because I'm in the process of moving. We do AMA every week, private for the members. We do it in Discord, and everybody, 4 p.m. Eastern time. I'll see you there. It will be recorded, so we will release the link. Everybody, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding that bell. I will see you in tomorrow. Okay? Adios. Adios, muchachos. Thank you for coming. Thank you for always tuning in. BitLabAcademy.com. Hit that like button, sucker. Oh, wait. Hold on a second. I see. We have a chat revenue of 224. My deepest apologies. Did I miss some massive super chat? Matt C. I see you, buddy. $100. Pots and pans, baby. Oh my God. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I cannot believe I didn't see this. I'm so focused in the charts. Man, I love you so much. Sawtooth Hiker, for your transition into a new lease. There's no other kind of transition. Love you guys. Thank you so much. I mean, honestly, you guys just warm my heart. I appreciate you all so much. Thank you, Sawtooth Hiker, Matt C. And there was another one earlier. I think it was Sawtooth Hiker as well. Thank you for everybody that gives to this channel. Thank you for all. There's a lot of work that goes into this, and I appreciate each and every one of you. And so with that, just love. Already sang the song. I'll see you in the next episode. If you're watching this later, comment down below, hit the like button, and follow one of these, go to one of these videos, subscribe to the channel.